Bhuta, element, Indriya, senses, Manaha, Gunaha, laws of nature, Veda, Ayatana, the body, Nirmane, anyway, Nasti, was not possible. Brahmavittama, O Narada, best knower of transcendental knowledge.
Translation: O Narada, best of the transcendentalists, the forms of the body cannot take place. As long as these created parts, namely the elements, senses, mind, and modes of nature, are not assembled. Purport: the different types of bodily construction of the living entities are exactly like different types of motor cars manufactured by assembling the aligned motor parts. When the car is ready, the driver sits in the car and moves it as he desires. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 18.61. The living entity is as a seat of the machine of the body, and the car of the body is moving by the control of the nature. Just as the railway trains are moving under the direction of the control. The living entities, however, are not the bodies. They are separated from the cars of the body, But the less intelligent material scientists cannot understand the process of assembling the parts of the body, namely the senses, the mind, and qualities of the material modes. Every living entity is a spiritual spark, part and parcel of the supreme being. By the kindness of the Father, for the Father is kind to his Son, the individual living beings are given a little freedom to act according to their will to lord it over the living nature. Just as the Father gives some playthings to the crying child to satisfy him, the whole material creation is made possible by the will of the Lord, to allow the bewildered living entities to lord it over things as they desire, although under the control of the agent of the Lord. Living entities are exactly like small children playing in the material field under the control of the maid servant of the Lord, nature. They accept the Maya, or the maid servant, as all in all, and thus wrongly conceive the supreme truth to be feminine, goddess Durga, etc. The foolish, childlike materialists cannot reach beyond the conception of the maid servant, material nature. But the intelligent grown-up sons of the Lord know well that all the acts of material nature are controlled by the Lord, just as the maid servant is under the control of the master, the father of the undeveloped children. The parts of the body, such as the senses, are the creation of the Mahatattva, and when they are assembled by the will of the Lord, the material body comes into existence. The living entity is allowed to use it further activities into this way as follows. Om Tat Sat. Omukya Punarindasya Jnanandana Shalakaya Chakshur Mritamye Tasam Shivaya Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapureshaya Vidare Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nami Namaste Saraswate Deve Guruvani Charani Maybe say Shashundivadi Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Ram.
Hare Ram Hare. A very technical sloka on creation, elements, and assembly, how the Lord is creating for being the Lord, not anything. And there's an elaborate arrangement required for that. And all that is done by Krishna in great detail. Not take it very lightly. For our material enjoyment, there is a huge amount of work going on to make the arrangement for our material. Brahma is involved, and he is the secondary creator. Yatra sargas visargascha sthanam poshanam utrayah Vinoda Kirashraya. All these Bhagavatas characteristics are given. In that, Sarga Visarga. Sarga is the basic creation done by the Lord. That's the basic element. Visarga is the secondary creation done by Brahma. Brahma does a lot of detailed creation. Here, this is a description of the Sarga, the Lord's initial creation, after which he outsources the secondary creation to Brahma and he will do all the details. And there is a science behind it. It's very interesting, you don't have to tell you. But when you read this, you know what a lot of detail there is in the creation. And what is the foundation, purpose of this creation? To accommodate all of us and accommodate our illicit desire to be separate from the Lord. Krishna Bahimukha Bhagavanchapari. Krishna Bahimukha means turn your face away from Krishna and enjoy. Because if you want to enjoy, you can't remember the Lord. You understand this very well. That's why it's very difficult to be Krishna conscious in the material world. If you are in the enjoying mood, the prerequisite for enjoying this material world is forgetfulness of Krishna and forgetfulness of yourself. Then only you can enjoy matter. That's the way it is designed. Krishna Bhagirmukha Bhogavanchakare Nikatastha Maya Japatiya. The moment you forget the Lord, Maya will catch hold of you because you belong to earth only. And then you will be conditioned by the modes, the three modes. Only if these things happen to you can you stupidly enjoy, forgetting yourself, forgetting Krishna. Wow, so nice, the weather is so good, let's go eat, let's do that, let's do all that. Let's, exploit people, exploit matter. All that is possible only when you forget yourself and forget Krishna and your connection. So this is a prerequisite for material enjoyment. That is being facilitated by the Lord. Okay, if you want it. But if you want it, you will forget me. But if you forget me, I need to secure you. And for your security, so many things are being looked at by Krishna. How do we elicit this? How do we elicit this? And doesn't that mean that he is very kind, very concerned, and very caring about you? So this is the background of this, simile and metaphor that's being used here with Prabhupada, saying it's like a car manufacturing unit. So great, it's a car manufacturing unit, and all the different parts are made separately and then assembled. Like boom, becomes a car, and you just sit down and you drive. You buy the car, somebody bought it for you, and you just drive it. It feels so good. You don't know what all went on the backside. Providing you that pleasure. Providing you that pleasure. So that is why material creation is concerned. Sometimes people think, no, I want only to love passion. It's all very difficult to understand for me. The matter and the faith between prasana and then agitated by the Lord's looks, saikshata by his looks, and then it's impregnated with living entities, and then this happens, I can't understand all that. And why is it here in the Bhagavad Gita? I want to be Krishna's husband. I want to read the beautiful Bhakti. No. So it's not very great detail in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Fools like you and me can say, oh, Prabhu Krishna is seeking for only my illicit desire. And how many people are involved? All the demigods, Brahma, everybody is involved in the creation, the maintenance, and everything. For you to enjoy. So by reading creation and the details of it, we start appreciating our Father for His word. Undeveloped children, but the intelligent grown-up sons of the Lord, uses the word undeveloped children, grown-up sons of the Lord. They know well that the acts of material are controlled by the Lord, just as it uses the symbol of nature and is under the control of nature. Because people conclude that nature is everything. They conclude that they don't see God, so they say that nature is more superior. But I see material nature. Although you see, don't you see material nature? You see hills, valleys, mountains, and the sea. That's what we do with nature. And then they write poetry about it. Who's that famous poet? Lord Harry. Not that I love man less, it's just that I love nature more. Wow, what wonderful statements. Not that I love man less, it's just that I love nature more. Nice coinage. And people, the poets over us, very nice, they write poetry on nature and butterflies and birds and the blue sky and the twitching of the birds and the sun rising and all that. All of that is nature. But in terminologies that we use, material nature means Maya. Krishna is Shakti. The inferior energy of Krishna. What we see is beautiful, scenery and this and that. Behind that, it's an animal behind it. There is a personality behind it. A feminine gender utilized for person. And she is managing everything. And she is very close to Krishna. And we are under her Trishul, 3 modes, kept under 3 modes, bound. It's a very interesting subject matter to see how we are conditioned. And we have forgotten so that we can enjoy that. The sada of the conditioned soul is an amazing account. In the Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Sattum Rajas Tava Iti Guna Prakriti Sambhavaha Nibandhanti Mahabaho Dehi Dehi Namakyam. Sattva Rajas Tamas is the modes, condition the soul. Conditioning, a big topic, very interesting topic. I am a conditioned soul. What does it mean? We use the word very casually. I am a conditioned soul. Yeah, what to do. What is the mechanics of conditioning? How it happens? Why it happens? All these are explained about, they're very rich. Especially in the Bhagavatam, very prominently explains the saga of the conditioned soul, how he falls into it, and how he is pathetically enmeshed in the modes, and how he thinks he is very great, that he's stupid idiot, who doesn't know anything, he's totally ignorant, anything great about himself. And in the world of such stupid idiots, each one recognizes each other for material greatness. Which means you are actually congratulating each other, awarding each other for the level of forgetfulness of the reality. This is exactly what we do. Nobel Prize awarded to so and so. Everybody applauded, wow, great. The more people are excelling in the material world, the greater is the recognition for ignorance. That's what exactly is going on. But we recognize each other. that's why Prabhupada calls them fools, bastards. He openly calls them because there's a reason for it. You know, Krishna is also calling them Mudha in the Bhagavad Gita, very civilized, minimum usage. Actually, you're worse than that. You're really worse than that. So brash, so uncultured, so indecent to not recognize Krishna, to not bother about acknowledging him for giving me the material blessing. At least say prayers there before eating. At least say grace before eating the big turkey and the big buffalo that has been cut and the head is put there. My Lord, you are so kind to provide this nice buffalo to me. So ironic, the type of grace we say, for destroying, another life. And then Mahaprasad will say, actually, that is in a different way. We are saying Mahaprasad there is some level of understanding. My Lord, at least you will mean Prasad. I cured myself of this disease to this extent that at least telling myself I should eat food that is offered to you, which is an acknowledgement of the fact that you are providing to me. I'm acknowledging. Basic decency is to acknowledge. Thank you. Thank you. At least acknowledge. So it's not really a great thing when you say grace or you say Mahaprasad. Very basic decency to acknowledge the Lord. In Varnashrama, you are requested to have at least basic decency. Say some prayers to the Lord here. Yeah, okay, thank you. I'm very busy enjoying, but I thank you. This is basic acknowledgement. It's not really very deep. Not really very deep. But when we read Bhagavatam, we go through the detail, the amount of work that so many people are doing under the Lord's superintendence for the sake of you and me to enjoy in the prison house, the facilities. Then you should do more than acknowledgement. You get to know how kind, how merciful, and how caring Krishna is. Because he is providing all the toys for illicitly enjoying, forgiving you. Okay, you're my son, you're my child. Okay, you made a mistake. Okay, you want to mistake. Go ahead. Once in a while, you use your eye on the list. Don't do that, okay? By playing the toys, don't upset. Simple things. So that is why the creation is described. After Sarve, Sarvascha, Sthanam, Poshnam, Upayita. How the Lord will shelter. So this basic, this is what is called education. Education means basic understanding of how Krishna is involved in my material situation. He is the basis of it. Aham sarvasya prabho tasato bhagavate. Today the boy is chanting Utimatva bhagavema udavasanamna. So, I think that if you think about it a little bit, at least in humanity, basic decency of acknowledging the Lord, that should be at least a human being. So that's what Prabhupada said, Varnashrama means civilized human being. A civilized human being acknowledges, at least acknowledges. That's why it's not a great favor you're doing for the Lord by being privileged to say grace. When I say prayers, I watch out for you and praying. It's like I do a big job. Praying and glorifying the Lord. Some people think that it's a contribution. I offer prayers. I came to the temple and the darshan and brought a few bucks in the movie. Very good people. All this Krishna talk is sitting inside your heart. He knows what a rash individual you are. That's why new science. I mean, it's a very detailed thing. I'm not knowing anything of everything about it, but some devotees have done a lot of research. And it's very fascinating for people who want to know things about intellectual. For instance, Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Bhumi Ramu Vadaro Vayu Kammano Virecha Ahankaram Adiyam Me Inna Prakriti Ashta. You know, he describes matter. Bhinna Prakriti. What is he describing? Bhumi Ramu Vadaro Vayu Kammano Virecha. 8 Ashta. Matter is described as earth, water, fire, air, sky, people, mind, intelligence, and you. This is how matter is described. The same way Krishna also speaks about atoms. We are taught matter, the smallest indivisible particle of matter, atom. And it says subatomic particles also things. Just see what is our understanding of matter. Okay? When you speak about matter in physics and you speak about, in chemistry you speak about atoms, molecules, in physics you speak about different laws and forces and all kinds of things. But Krishna's description foundation is Bhumika Purava. This is matter. Right? Mahabhutani Ahankaro Buddhi Ravyakta Indriyani Dashikapancha Panchachindri Gochara. In other words, you look at that also. The 24 elements inside which the soul is situated. The 5 working senses, the 5 knowledge acquiring senses, Panchamahabhutas, like that, everything can be added. It comes to 23, 24. The 25th is the soul inside this situation. Matter is in a very sophisticated way. It's a very sophisticated description. It doesn't say atom alone. In other words, Bhumika Purava Vayu Kammano Virecha is fundamental to even the atom. When the atom is made of Bhumika Purava Vayu Kammano. How does that sound to you? This is my understanding from other readings. The matter means this. Atom is also made out of combination of Bhumika Purava Vayu Kammano. This is foundational and fundamental. That are the elements of matter. To that extent, matter is described. Actually, material scientists don't know matter fully. It's devotees who get to know matter. Krishna comments on that in Bhagavad Gita, only my devotees understand it. The matter and the way it is formed. You have to be my devotee in order to understand matter. So it's not that in material science that we have some material understanding here and there. That is enough for them to exploit matter and enjoy it. They need to know it so much. You know, make a few buildings and shoot some, rockets into space and a few things about it. But I think there are foundationally different ideas which all these great scientists and yogis, rishis and sages know. They exploited matter in a bunch of people way. I think by exploitation is very low class. We don't know enough. So we don't exploit matter enough. But rishis, sages and yogis and all of that, they know matter very deeply. You know, what's it, Anada, Patida, and all of that. They are all describing reality in terms of atoms and molecules and Nyaya and all that things. Discussions are very deep into the discussion of matter. Really speaking, we don't know matter is very well. That's why we get hit by matter. Because the tsunami, we don't know what will happen. COVID thing, we don't know what will happen. Because we don't have enough understanding of that. Why it's happening. Right? So, there is matter, in material knowledge also, there is levels of it, which actually we don't know very well. But if you read the Bhagavatam, you will know how things made. Right from level 1, the basics. then you are in a better position to exploit matter. That is the meaning of all these yogis achieving siddhis. I can exploit matter in a better way. Anima, Ladima, Prakamya, all these siddhis. You know matter so well that you can become smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest. Hanuman had all these siddhis when he went to Lanka. It's mentioned he became small and entered the keyhole of the door to enter Ravana's palace. He became small and entered. Then he became big and attacked in Sita's forest, where she was Ashokavana. There he became huge and sat on the wall and attacked. He said, I'll create a mess now. Then he became big and he flew across. All this, he had yogi perfect. That's not taken very casually. It's a normal thing, those times. But now, if we see anything like that happening, you know, oh my God, this is very, very special, and those people will come to see you doing that. It's a normal thing, those days. Everybody had some siddhis here and there because of their yogi perfections, because they were high class yogis. But now we become so low class in Kali Yuga, and you can't understand all these things also properly. Leave alone getting deep into it and exploiting it. You know, it's very difficult for me to understand. You know, I can chant Hare Krishna, but I can't understand all that. And it's easy to chant for me, but you can't understand. That's simple. Low class. Mandha, Samanthanatayo, Mandatta, Kihi, the description of people in the world. So there's another reason why we are not able to appreciate what Krishna has done for us. So these are some of the things that occur to me, some of them. And some of the things that occur to me is simply frustrating and sure. And I think that we should evoke our emotional connection to the Lord for His wonderful service to all of us, the illusion that He wants everything. And He is doing this because He wants to teach you a lesson and get you out of the illusion. That should be acknowledged, and with that feeling we should chant Hare Krishna and render service to the Lord for the sake of the love for the Lord and the acknowledgement, respect, decency, further understanding, and there will be a striking relationship with God. Om Tat Sat, Hare Krishna, Shri Prabhupada. Request to come in, is possible. Darshan is coming. Yeah.
One should not bookish in applying these principles. Do you know that Yudhishthira and Arjuna fought with each other? Do you know Arjuna lunged for his throat, for Yudhishthira's throat as a kill you, finish you. And Krishna said to Arjuna, he said, don't fight, there's a whole war going on, both of you don't fight. No, I promise to kill him, because he spoke against my family, you are poor. And he insulted me. He's happening inside the war camp. You know that? They both fought. Yeah. So don't think that differences of opinion are there only in this between people. I say, I read out a letter to the youth, outwards letter, to encourage beautiful and very experiences. Don't think it is utopia. There is some fantastic ideal state in your mind. And he explains even the spiritual world is difference of opinion. But that's not a big thing. Difference of opinion should be there because we are different. Each one of us, we are not one blob that all of us are one. So don't be too bookish about how you apply the things that you read. Application requires intelligence. Our education system is simply based on reading by rote and writing an exam, or cut and paste it and then get a certificate is like no. That's what we know. But education means application of the stuff that you read. Jnana, Vijnana, Saktam, Yajnatva, Mokshayate, Ashubha. Inauspicious will go only when you know Vijnana. Jnana, Vijnana, Saktam. Right? So, it is definitely required that there will be a difference of opinion. Then only it is exciting. If everybody is saying clone, factory made, left, right, the same type of guys, it's so boring. So boring. It should be different. It should be difference of opinion. It's exciting and it makes variety. So we learn to accommodate that. It's not that we homogenize everybody into one type. That's not our business. Our business is to unity, diversity, pluralism. It's to handle diversity in a spiritual manner. That's it. So first of all, understand that there will be managerial difficulties in managing a spiritual institution inside the religion. And there will be not perfect spiritually either. They are not great people. They are just sadhakas. So don't slack yourself with perfection and make it more difficult. Relax. Of course you should not do offensive things. You should not do morally, ethically wrong stuff. You should draw water. And within that, there will be things happen. It happened in the Pandavas camp. Yudhishthira gambled away his wife also. And all his brothers will say, yeah, he's not only your wife, he has my wife also. How did you gamble? You are asking me. He had moral ethical questions. And Yudhishthira had no answers for that. And his Dharmaraj, he answered. So who doesn't? The Vajrayana is faulty by nature, by nature it is faulty. He bewildered anybody. Bewildered anybody. So let's not focus on those things. Let's focus on how to serve Krishna together in spite of differences. There lies your victory. That's what the Pandavas said. It's not that the Pandavas did not have difference of opinion. You read the Mahabharata, you see. And Yudhishthira will come always with high class moral ethical stuff. And both Bhima and others look at the day, oh my gosh, he's again gone, he's ranting about this and that, and there Duryodhana has attacked the Pandavas, and we are enjoying this and going with that. Why? Because he's our family member. Where does this guy come from? And then they say all these things, they go and do what he said also, because he's my brother. They go and do that also. So, in the end, you will be right because you serve Krishna, in spite of the difference of opinion. In the end, you build a beautiful temple. It came out and people are coming and seeing the Lord. I must have gone through a lot of stuff, I know. There will be lots of things misunderstanding with abstract. He will be coming and smiling at me. Haribol Maharaj, this temple was built in 2018. This is, I know behind water all goes on.